So it's been a while since I've given you guys a look into our West African homestead here. So today I'm going to take you guys around the property and tell you guys a little bit about some of the utilities here. So like water and electricity, trash, and internet. Okay, so the first thing that I'll give you guys a look at is our water supply. Well, this is our water tower, and so this is our primary source of water to our compound, and so both us and the Reiches use water from the same source here. So just like in the US, we have a water supply company, but different from the US is they only supply water once a week for maybe anywhere from 1 to 2 days. And so that basically means that when the water does come, it fills up the water tank, and when it turns off, that's all the water that we have until the next time they fill it up. And so when we first signed the contract to rent this property, we looked at that and we have no idea how much water we need or if that's enough or not enough. We found out pretty quickly that under our normal usage habits, that was not enough, and so we were running out pretty quickly. And so we've done some things to try to conserve water that has helped us a lot to get to the point where we typically can go a full week with us sharing that water with the Reiches. And so water conservation habits like less frequent showers, shorter showers, more strategic toilet flushes, I'll just leave it there, as well as getting better at using less water for things like washing dishes and washing the laundry. And so typically we can go, like I said, full week without running out. However, if we have company, or perhaps the water company takes a little bit longer than a week to refill us, then we'll run out, and then we have to go to plan B, which is what I'm going to show you next. You want to go to the well? This is our well, also known as Plan B. Why are we so motivated to conserve water so that we don't run out of water in the tower? Well, it's because Plan B means lifting every ounce of water that we need from this 60-foot deep well. And both me and Sean, when we first got here, the first day or two, we just loved pulling water from the well. I think it made us feel kind of, manly and strong, and it was kind of, epic and masculine, and that quickly wore off, where that's no longer a feeling at all. And so we pretty much only use this to fill up our Berkey water filters because the water tastes better, and when our water tower runs out. One other kind of water-related issue maybe to bring up is that we don't actually have access to water heaters within our compound here. And so that means that pretty much any hot water that we want, we need to boil over the stove. And that's something that I thought, taking cold showers would be a very difficult thing to adjust to. But it's actually been probably one of the most refreshing parts of our days, since it's so hot here, just being able to take a cool shower. Something I don't think I'd actually would want the alternative of taking a warm shower. There have been a few times where when sick or something like that, it would be nice to have some warm water for those things. But overall, we're really content with that. But as you saw, the water tower, the container, is actually black, which means it absorbs the heat from the sun at a greater rate. And so that actually naturally warms up the water somewhat so that it's not frigid. It's just a nice and cool and refreshing temperature. All right, so that's water. The next thing I'll share with you guys is our electricity situation. All right, well, this is our, I guess you could call it electrical box. And so here is proof that we actually are attached to the grid here in Sierra Leone. Unfortunately, the grid does not work as effectively as we first were made to believe. We were told to believe that we would have power about every day for about 6 to 8 hours in the evening and in the nighttime. I don't think we had power at all until after 3 or 4 days of being here. And so it varies incredibly. Okay, it's very unpredictable whenever power does come on. I would say if I was estimating an average, I'd say once every 3 days or so, power will come on. And the length of time that it stays on varies anywhere from just a couple hours to maybe even up to 12. I'd say an average is maybe around 6 or 7 hours. But it varies so much and it's so unpredictable. However, it has been kind of an exciting development that we've had electricity pretty consistently every other night for the past like maybe 3 weeks or so. We have no idea if this will keep up. My disposition is to not trust it at all so that I'm not disappointed. Sonia's kind of the opposite way. And so it's a little bit of a running joke between all of us whether or not this trend will keep up. I'm skeptical. And so whenever the city power is on, this light bulb indicates that it's on right here. And then I know to come out here and then flip the switch up in order to activate and allow the electricity to run through both our home and the Reich's home. However, we have this switch, if it's flipped down, then that gives us power through the generator that I'll show you in just a moment. Okay, so if you're wanting reliable, kind of on-demand access to electricity, here in Sierra Leone, you need a generator. And so this is our relatively small generator. And so this is obviously much smaller than what would be typically used for this compound. And that's mostly because all that we really want a generator for is just enough power in order to turn on lights, to charge our electronics, to be able to power a few fans. And this is only turned on average, I'd say, about 4 hours a day if there is no city power on. And so most days we turn it on from about 6:30, and we turn it off before we go to bed around 10:30. And that gives enough time to charge our electronics, as well as to give us some light during the evening time when the sun goes down. Okay, the other utility that I won't film in detail is actually our garbage disposal. And so, unlike the US, we do not have access to a trash pickup that's regularly scheduled like what we're used to. And I hope this doesn't offend too many people, but the normal method of garbage disposal here is just burning everything, and not just paper products, but plastic as well. And so that's our method. Just like anyone else in this country, we have a trash pile, a garbage pile out in the corner, and so every couple weeks we burn it. However, this method of this kind of being up to us to dispose of our own garbage has certainly caused us to change some habits regarding, our waste, really minimizing our waste. It's pretty incredible how much less garbage we go through on a week-to-week basis compared to even that in the US. And so we were able to minimize that, where we only need to burn the pile maybe every other week or every couple weeks. And so that's just another part of one of the utilities and chores around the homestead. Okay, well, the next thing is sharing with you guys a little bit about our internet situation. So this enables us to be able to share videos like this. So real quick before I talk about the internet, and this is actually kind of related to our internet situation, is a third different power source, and this is kind of the backup's backup, is actually solar. And so this right here is just a portable solar panel that I'm able to put up, and then this attaches to be able to charge this battery brick that I brought with me from the US. And this is a pretty large kind of battery bank right here. And so this isn't really practical for a lot of daily usage. However, there's been a few times where both the city power didn't turn on and our generator either was broken or we didn't have access to it for some other reason. And so this has come through really, really well, to the point where we're able to charge our phones, charge little portable fans, and able to kind of keep us going just for an extra day or two while we're kind of troubleshooting some other electrical issues. So when we were looking into moving here a few years ago, there really wasn't any significant internet options. And so it was looking like the only access to internet that we would have would be going to like a printing shop where they would have some Wi-Fi, or you can use their own computers there. And that would be a pain in the neck and be pretty, no touch. And that would be pretty inconvenient, as well as not have very high quality internet. And so over the past couple of years, technology has kind of improved here a little bit to where we're able to have both internet on our phones through our phone service, but also our cell phone provider is able to provide us with something like this. And so all this is just a SIM card that's put into this modem that's able to broadcast the Wi-Fi signal throughout the house. And so this is probably the fastest internet that we could find. It's still not super fast compared to a lot of internet that we're used to back in the States. There's still times where like video calling is challenging. Also, uploading these videos takes a very long time because of the slow upload speed. However, we're just super thankful to have it. Being able to have internet access to be able to communicate with family and friends back home is really cool. But you might be wondering, wait a minute, doesn't this take a power cord? Well, it does. And so I'm actually able to power it through this battery brick that I showed you earlier. And so I'm able to charge this during the 4 hours that we have power from 6:30 to 10:30 on most days through the generator. And so this is able to get charged during that period. And then the rest of the time, I'm able to hook up some adapters to get it to work with this outlet system. And we're able to have internet for the rest of the time. The truth is, we really have less access to these basic utilities than what we're used to in the States. However, we still have greater access than most people in this country. And so that prevents us from feeling any amount of discontentment. We are so blessed and so thankful for the resources and the utilities that we have here. And we're enjoying the difference of lifestyle and learning to see some of the joys that comes from a simpler, more primitive way of life here.